How does Vegas over-under predict fantasy football game scripts? Imagine knowing how a game is likely to unfold before it even starts. That's what the Vegas over-under helps fantasy football managers do. The over-under, also called the total, is a prediction of combined points scored by both teams in an NFL game. This number is set by sportsbooks based on many factors like team form, player injuries, and recent performances. When you see a high over-under, it suggests a game expected to be high scoring. That usually means more offensive plays, more touchdowns, and more chances for fantasy points for quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. On the flip side, a low over-under points to a lower scoring game, often indicating a defensive battle or a game where teams focus on running the ball. This can limit fantasy scoring opportunities for certain players. The prediction of game script from the over-under works alongside the point spread, which shows which team is favored and by how many points. For example, if a team is favored by 10 points and the over-under is high, it hints that the favored team might lead comfortably and run the ball more to control the clock. Meanwhile, the underdog might pass more often trying to catch up. This impacts how players are used during the game. Running backs on the favored team could get more carries, while wide receivers on the underdog might see more targets. Fantasy managers use the over-under to decide who to start or sit each week. If the game has a high over-under, it's a good idea to consider players involved in the shootout. These players are likely to rack up yards and score touchdowns. Conversely, if the over-under is low, it might be better to avoid players in that game because scoring chances are limited. The over-under, combined with the point spread, helps predict whether a team will be playing from ahead or behind. This influences whether they will run or pass more, which directly affects player involvement. Player props, which are betting lines on individual stats like rushing yards or passing touchdowns, also help refine these predictions. For example, if a quarterback's rushing yards prop is high, it suggests he will run more often, giving you a clue about his fantasy potential. Watching how the over-under moves during the week can also reveal important info. If it drops, it might mean injuries or weather conditions are expected to suppress scoring, changing the game's script and fantasy outlook. In short, the Vegas over-under is a helpful tool for predicting how a game will flow. It estimates total scoring, which guides expectations about offensive pace and player usage. When you combine this with the point spread and player props, you get a clearer picture of what to expect and how to set your weekly lineup. This approach helps you make smarter decisions and stay ahead during the season.